Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings today. The embattled Super Cup, otherwise known as DCP, Abba Kyari, suspended one at that, have decided to fight back by dragging the federal government into this whole mess. To make it very interesting, the federal government also have responded to what he wants. According to him, he has his own right and is demanding for his right through this means. And the federal government have given equal response to that. But before we go into the newspaper to find out what it is demanding from the federal government as a right, and what the federal government also have demanded or have responded to, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Let's start with what is demanding from the federal government. The detained Deputy Commissioner of Police, DCP, has dragged the federal government before a federal high court in Abuja, challenging his continued detention by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA). In a suit marked FHC/ABJ/CS/182/2020, that's 2022 rather, 22, Kyari, who is currently on suspension from the Nigerian police force, is seeking an order of court to immediately release him. I'll take it again. Is seeking an order of court to immediately release him. In the alternative, the suspended DCP being held by the NDLEA over his alleged involvement in hard drug trafficking wants the court to admit him to bail in liberal conditions. While Justice Inyang Edin Ekwo is expected to take the ex parte application filed along with the suit any moment today. And of course, the federal government have responded. The Justice Inyang Eden Ekwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday refused to order the federal government to release the detained Deputy Commissioner of Police, Abba Kyari, from custody. Rather, the judge ordered that the embattled Kyari should put the federal government on notice of the existence of the suit he instituted against it. The suspended DCP had dragged the federal government before the court, challenging his continued detention by an agency of government. According to him, in an ex parte application argued by his counsel, Cynthia Obianoju Ikena, Kyari claimed to be suffering from chronic diabetes, threatening his life, and therefore needs urgent medical attention. Justice Cour, in his brief ruling, declined to order his immediate release, but ordered him to put the respondent on notice. The judge ordered him to go and serve all processes he filed on the federal government. Justice Cour held that all the averments and allegations made against the federal government are so weighty that the court must give the government opportunity to hear from it before taking any step. He therefore fixed February 24th for the parties to appear before him. Now, one of the things he filed, which I'm going to quickly put here, is that in the suit marked FHC ABJCS 1824/22, Kyari sought an order of the court to immediately release him. In the alternative, the suspended DCP who is being held by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) over his alleged involvement in hard drug trafficking, asked the court to admit him on bail in liberal conditions. Now, what the judge did was, okay, you want me to release you? No problem. Can you serve the same processes to the federal government? Serve, let them come also and defend themselves. And the question is, he's also a government picking, quote and unquote. He was suspended, yes, but then he was also a government picking. So if he's going to serve to the federal government, I guess the federal government will have to come via the legal representative to defend the case. Now, one of his request is that he wants his human rights, wants to uphold his human right, that he's feeling very unwell. He's sick, that he has chronic diabetics. You know, it's a wonder each time we have issues like this, People who are before now hitherto very healthy, you keep hearing things like they're now very sick. In fact, if you don't let them go see their doctor, they could fall and go down any moment. They can die any moment. And this is the same chronic diabetic patient, quote and unquote, who was seen as a super cop in Southeast, running here and there. How was he able to do it? Which means he was able to manage the situation with that kind of chronic diabetics, and the police force allowed him to work effectively and efficiently without recording any health issue. I thought in that level of assignment, there's a level of health status that is required to fit into a field of that magnitude. Now the question now is, he wants to be given bail liberally, as in nothing happened. It's one of those things. Come on, with all these things done, I don't know how possible it is. A lot of Nigerians are shocked over what he's demanding for. That he wants himself to immediately be released. And now they stated the case to 24th of February. Come on, they're saying that federal government should go ahead and defend themselves. But it's also demanding that Kyari also, through his legal counsel that he has already employed, that they should start same processes to the federal government to come and defend themselves over the weighty that the allegations against him are very weighty. If they're going to go through the court, if he's going through the court, they should release him. Why don't he does what was that? To me, it's about the same thing. They should also drag him, send him to court so that they can, do the necessary things. So the investigation should be ongoing by now, and the evidences they have shown that the likes of the NDLEA have put out some evidences via that video coverage. The witnesses should come, the evidences should come, so that instead of him looking for a way to go to a hospital for diabetics, that is a chronic diabetic, they should use that opportunity to quickly. This is not a case of dragging this case, adjourning it to so. They should just drag the whole matter to court, and if he's guilty, he should start the term immediately. If he's not guilty, then we should look for a way around these things, because the truth is, before you know it now, it will be back and forth. The next thing, they will now start dragging federal government over something that was seen by a lot of Nigerians out there. Videos, we're still talking about the issue of FBI with Hush Puppy. That's still pending. It has not been settled yet. It has not been settled yet. That case is still pending. Then we now have the issue of this tramadol, just came in recently. We now have the issue of the narcotics, which he said is so dummy. Quite a lot of allegations, some messy, dirty, nasty things that was being brought up on social media about him. He says not the time to begin to, remember all of a sudden that he has diabetics and he needs to see his medical doctor. They can always get a medical doctor. I'm sure the NDLEA have some medical doctor. They can, go through his system and see how okay is and keep giving him his drugs as at when due. Because the truth is, if you ask me, and I'm sure a lot of Nigerians out there, the likes of Reno Onkre, the likes of Gaba, Adamu, and many other Nigerians are insisting justice ought to be served. That's where we're going to wrap this whole thing up. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take? That the embattled cop, Abba Kyari, is dragging the federal government to court, and he wants himself to be released immediately on liberal bail terms.